Hi there, this is Chris, Chap in the Cap. Today I'm going to talk to you about 10 of our favourite leather motorcycle jackets. At some stage in their motorcycling career, every motorcyclist will own a leather jacket. It's just one of those things. It goes back to, I suppose, Marlon Brando in The Wild One, Elvis in Roustabout, Fonda in Easy Rider, and of course the Fonz. A leather jacket is just a motorcyclist staple. And back in the day, leather made so much sense. It provided a level of protection from the elements, and of course it would be the best thing to be wearing if it all went Peter Tong. No self-respecting rocker, after all, would have worn anything else. And then later, the leather suit became the default option for those who followed racing or who rode sports bikes. For many, the one-piece leather became the ultimate expression of commitment to two wheels. But for those who wanted greater versatility, the preferred option would have been a racing-inspired leather jacket. And then, of course, there's the Harley crowd. They've always liked a leather jacket. More recently, of course, interest in all things retro have caused lots of bikers to comb the archives looking for jackets with greater authenticity. I suppose what I'm saying is that leather jackets have always been popular. Bikes and fashions may have changed, but the leather jacket has always to some degree been in vogue. But nothing ever stays the same, as much in biking as elsewhere, I suppose. Sports bikes, for example, are dead. They simply do not sell anymore. The custom retro thing has waned a little. All the growth in motorcycling these days is in the adventure sector. And of course, a leather jacket has no place in the adventure bike rider's wardrobe. And that's ironic, I think, given that people like Ted Simons and Elspeth Beard circumnavigated the world in a leather jacket. Not the same leather jacket, of course. And so the fact is that, and I'm imagining that we as motor legends are not alone in this, we are selling less leather jackets than we used to. At one stage, every second person who came to the shop seemed to want to come in and try on a leather jacket. But that's simply not the case today. Yes, we still sell leather jackets. There are still people who want one. But for many bikers these days, a leather jacket will be their second or third jacket for those days when they just want to put on a little bit of style. Rarely these days is somebody's primary jacket one that is fashioned from leather. And that is probably because it has become accepted that leather is not a particularly practical option. Now, leather, of course, is still abrasion resistant, although these things are never black and white. We sell lots of leather jackets that are only A-rated for abrasion resistance under EN 17092, and we sell lots of textile jackets that are AAA rated, so it's not a black and white picture, as I've mentioned. But leather can be fantastic to ride in. If it's not too cold and not too hot, a leather jacket is just fine. But if it's cold, a leather jacket has no natural thermal properties. If it's hot, leather doesn't work so well because it just doesn't breathe. Of course, where a leather jacket will be particularly useless is when it rains. Think of leather as a dry chamois cloth. Now, we all know what happens to a chamois cloth when you dunk it into a bucket of water. It just absorbs the moisture. In essence, that's what happens to a leather jacket when the sky's open. And that really isn't what you want when you're still 3 hours from home. Fact is, for most people, there's going to be a textile jacket that's going to be more practical. In hot weather, a textile jacket can breathe much better, so we don't get hot and sticky. In cold weather, a textile jacket will work better with a thermal layer than a leather one, again for the same reason. We insulate body heat, the sweat needs to escape, and it cannot do that through a leather jacket. It can do it much more easily through a textile one. And obviously, a waterproof membrane works much better inside a textile chassis than inside a leather one, because the leather one is going to wet out. Now, we used to find people coming into the shop at the beginning of the season looking for a lightweight leather jacket as a cooler option to their winter textiles. But these days, when these people come to the shop, they're usually looking for something even cooler, a mesh jacket perhaps, or actually any kind of textile jacket without a waterproof membrane. Now, that does not mean in any way that there isn't a place for a leather jacket in a biker's wardrobe. Emphatically, there is. But if you're concerned about any of the practicalities of riding a motorcycle, you'll probably go for a textile one rather than a leather one. But nobody ever said that motorcyclists were rational beings. In fact, we all know motorcyclists to be exactly the opposite. Motorcycling is all about emotion. It's all about heart over head. But the bottom line is this: you wear a leather jacket for one reason and for one reason only. And that's because you want to wear a leather jacket. Now, whilst we here at Motor Legends sell fewer leather jackets than we used to, we still do sell the odd one or two. To which end we've put together a selection of some of our favourites. Indeed, we think that we've got some of the best leather jackets out there. So let me talk you through them and perhaps give you some pointers to how to choose the one that's going to work best for you. The Block Race from Rucker is an all-black back to basics jacket, about as simple as a leather jacket gets. You've got a goatskin chassis, but the leather is nothing like the goatskin that you get with, say, a Hasson jacket. What Hassons do, they wash and tumble the leather to give it a patinated feel. By contrast, the leather here, the goatskin, is very smooth. It's luxurious to the touch. In fact, the whole jacket feels exquisitely put together. It feels like the kind of quality that you'd expect from someone like Rucker. Now, you get some stretched leather here behind the shoulders for better articulation. You also get some elasticated concertina banding above the elbows. Again, the same aim to make this jacket a particularly comfortable jacket to wear. The jacket comes fitted with Ghost 1 level armour in the elbows and the shoulders. It's got a pocket for a back protector, but for various reasons I can tell you that the only level 1 back protector that will fit into this jacket is going to be the D30 Ghost level 1 protector. Now, the jacket is rated single A for abrasion resistance. And I think that comes down to the fact that there's stretch here behind the shoulders. Admit, one might normally expect a leather jacket like this to come in at the AA rating. But this leather banding here, this stretch leather here, encroaches into what is known as Zone 1. And I think that means that the jacket had to be downgraded from AA to single A. I admit I'm kind of guessing here, but on one level, a bit of a shame. Doesn't really affect the performance of the jacket, it's got to be said. All the details are what you would expect from someone like Rucker. So you've got this neoprene edging to the collar, you've got a slightly lowered back, you've got a zip that goes all the way around the jacket so you can connect into any Rucker pant or any Halvarson's pant, or you can use the Halvarson's waist belt. You can also use, I think there are 3 elasticated loops that will go around the belt of your jeans. So either way, you can connect this to a pair of jeans if that's what you want to do. There's only one thing we don't like about this jacket, and it's this Velcro patch on the shoulder. Perhaps it's a finish thing, but really, who puts a badge on a leather jacket? I've not done anything like that since I got thrown out of Cubs. The jacket, I've got to say, feels similar to some of Belstaff's black leather jackets. Not quite as expensive as those, but not by a huge amount. It's still quite an expensive jacket. In the UK, this jacket is exclusive to Moto Legends. This is the vintage jacket from Spidy, and it's a jacket that Spidy makes exclusively for us here at Moto Legends. It's based on a similar jacket from the Spidy range, but that jacket comes with huge badges, and we didn't like them, so we asked Spidy to remove those badges from the jacket and make this version especially for us. It's a really beautifully soft and stretchy waxed leather jacket. It is so nice to wear. It's one of the nicest jackets that we sell. It is light and it is super comfortable. It's got a tail that is quite significantly longer at the back, so it works really well on the bike. You've got a fixed cotton lining, you've got a removable lightweight thermal waistcoat, but you can't wear that off the bike. So I do wonder whether some people will just throw that away and, I don't know, wear something in merino. You've got level 1 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. There's a pocket that will take a back protector. We would prefer to use ours rather than Spidy's own one. We just put Velcro onto a D30 back protector. The jacket is rated AA under EN 17092. It comes in this colour, brown, but also in black. Now, the Italian fit, which is quite a slim fit, means that this is a jacket that sometimes works better on those with taller or longer upper bodies and those with slightly thinner tummies, it's got to be said. In truth, we're starting to run out of some of the sizes of the jacket, and we haven't yet reordered it. We're going to reorder it soon, but we may not see those missing sizes until at some point early in 2025. If you like the look of the Spidy jacket, you could try another jacket we do from Spidy that's called the Genesis. This is the leather Brooklands jacket from Belstaff. Now, Belstaff does leather versions of its 3 most popular wax cotton jackets. So that's the Brooklands, which is this one, the Crosby, which is the slightly longer jacket with the central adjuster, and then there's the Trial Master that attaches around the middle with a belt. All 3 jackets are made from the same incredibly beautiful hand-waxed bovine leather. All the jackets come in different colours, so this one has a burnt cuero. I think this also comes in a black, but there are browns and greens, so all jackets have different colours. They all feature the same basic features. So you've got a check lining on the inside, as you would expect always from a Belstaff. You've got corduroy here that lines the neck and also the ends of the sleeves. You've got this quilted leather detailing on the elbows and the shoulders, antique metal zips, adjusters and so on. All the jackets are rated single A under EN 17092. Now that's because frankly Belstaff has not retested them since they first introduced the jacket. What I have to tell you is these jackets would easily pass AA, so no issues on that score. The jackets come fitted with level 1 D3O, vented D3O, shaped D3O in the shoulders and the elbows. There's a pocket for a back protector. Now, some might suggest that a jacket like this is almost too nice for the bike. You wouldn't want to wear a jacket like this every day in the rain and all the muck and so on. But I have to say that people who own this jacket, people who ride this jacket, love it, so I'm sure that they would disagree with me. The jacket is, of course, it's a Belstaff, it's a leather Belstaff. It is outrageously expensive, but I actually suspect that's why for some people, they're so desirable. The Idre from Hasson is another one of those classic back to basics black leather jackets. In this case, it's almost totally devoid of branding. There's a little bit here on the left shoulder, but almost nobody's going to notice that. It's made from what looks like an aged goat's leather. Basically, it's a goat skin that's been washed and tumbled to give it this slightly beat up feel. Now, we like goat skin for motorcycle jackets and for motorcycle gloves. It's thinner than cowhide, but stronger than cowhide for its thickness. The result here is a really comfortable jacket. It's sort of an unstructured jacket, so it wears quite loosely. And it gives you a great kind of classic retro appeal. It looks a bit beaten up from day one, as it were. It comes with level 1 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. Now, it's Hason's slightly old-fashioned level 1 armour. I think a very worthwhile upgrade to this jacket would be their lighter level 2 armour. So even though it's twice as protective, it's a much nicer, lighter, more breathable armour. It would be really worthwhile. It would transform the jacket even further. Jacket obviously also has a pocket for a back protector. Jacket is rated AA under EN 17092 for abrasion resistance. Comes with a connecting zip, so you could zip this jacket into any rucker pant, any Hason's pant. Actually, Hason's does a jean that's got a zip already. You could also use their waist zip to connect this to any pair of jeans. The jacket does not have, a little bit disappointing, it doesn't have a lowered back. So this jacket sits a little shorter than some, and therefore on some people, if you're really tall in the upper body, this jacket doesn't work. In terms of sizing, it goes from a pretty small 46 or 48 right up to a 64. And what's more, we think this jacket is a pretty good value jacket. This is a hot rock jacket from Held. It's made from a combination of cowhide and sheepskin. Now, the main body of the jacket, which is cowhide, is made from what's known as a pull-up leather, and that's a leather that's designed to mark. So as you rub it or scratch it, those marks remain, and the idea is that this jacket is going to very quickly develop its own unique patina. Now, the leather is very soft, but what you also get are these stretch panels here up the flank, and you get these stretch panels, concertina panels behind the shoulders, going to make this jacket particularly comfortable to ride in. The leather up the insides of the sleeves also does the same. The leather here is sheepskin, and sheepskin is naturally stretchy, so a combination of the concertina banding and these sheep's leather up the sleeves are going to make this a really nice jacket to wear. Got two pockets here on the chest. Don't understand quite the position of those pockets, but they're actually not pockets, they are vents. You've also got a perforated placket here behind the main zip, so you can ride with the jacket undone, but have a placket that's done up inside it, and that is vented to allow more air to flow into the jacket. Jacket comes with level 1 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. There is a pocket, obviously, for a back protector. Now, the jacket is rated single A under EN 17092 for abrasion resistance. And we are surprised at that. And I guess I'm guessing here a wee bit, but the sheepskin here that runs up the inside of the sleeves, that would not have been strong enough to achieve the AA rating. So that's why I think this jacket has been downrated to single A. The basic chassis of the jacket has surely got to be strong enough for a AA rating. The jacket comes in this colour brown, or it comes in a black. You've got a nicely lowered back here, which is what we always like to see on a leather jacket. One of the things that is totally unique, well, certainly with us amongst leather jackets, is that this jacket comes in a longer body version with a longer torso and longer arms, as well as a regular size. This is certainly a premium quality jacket. It's not the lightest jacket you'll ever wear, but it's a jacket that feels substantial. It feels reassuring. This is the famous Ace Vintage jacket from Hson. It's the jacket that first attracted us to Hson all those years ago. It is far and away their most famous jacket. In our view, it's the epitome of the classic brown cafe racer leather jacket. The jacket arrives out of the bag, as it were, beautifully patinated. It's certainly the most authentic looking vintage jacket that we've ever come across. It's made from quite a thick 1.2mm leather, and that leather's been washed and it's been waxed and it's been oiled to give it some extra suppleness. It comes fitted with a removable thermal liner. To tell the truth, we don't think it's up to much. We'd probably throw that thermal liner away. It's not the highest of quality. I'd rather wear something a thicker weight of merino perhaps. Uniquely, this jacket also comes with a waterproof membrane, but that membrane has nothing to do with waterproofing. It's to do with windproofing, and that's pretty much a French thing. Now, they have a better climate than ours, although you'd never know it from the launch of the Olympics, but with their weather, they can ride, I don't know, into October, November with just a leather jacket. And in those shoulder parts of the year, a windproof membrane is just going to make this a little bit more bearable, a little bit more wearable, say, early in the morning and of an evening. So don't go thinking that this is a waterproof jacket. It's absolutely not. But in colder weather, it is going to be warmer than most leather jackets. Now, the jacket comes with level 1 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. Doesn't come with a pocket for a back protector. It actually comes with a back protector as standard. It rates AA under EN 17092. Now, this is a leather jacket that feels heavier than some, and indeed it is. What we sometimes do is recommend, if you do want to keep the thermal liner, wear it to begin with without the thermal liner. It's going to stretch quite swiftly, and then after maybe 3 months or 6 months, you'll be able to put the liner back in and it will feel the same as the jacket was at the beginning without the liner. Now, we've made our own jacket based on the Ace Vintage, and that jacket was called the Legend. It's made from a different leather and it has a slightly different fit. Now, that jacket has sold out in many sizes. It will be coming back, but until then, this is a great replacement. This is the Vanguard jacket from Belstaff, and it's new for the 2024 season. It's made from a sumptuous washed calf's leather. Now, it's another jacket that one might turn back to basics, and we seem to have a lot of those, but I think that's because we as a company are kind of drawn to that aesthetic. You've got accordion stretch panels that run up the flanks, and you've got accordion stretch also behind the elbows for added comfort. The detailing is, as you might expect from a Belstaff jacket, so you've got things like corduroy here in the collar, you've got antique brass zips and all of that kind of stuff. It comes as standard with level 1 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. There's a pocket that will take a D30 back protector. It is rated, pleasingly, AA under EN 17092 for abrasion resistance. But the reason that we are so excited about this jacket, and we haven't had it for long, is that it seems to fit so many people so well. It looks great on a lot of people. Of course, whilst it's not as expensive as some Belstaff leather jackets, it is not what you'd call inexpensive, as probably you'd expect. This is the rack and jacket from Hasson, and it's not, I suppose, what we would call a standalone jacket. Technically, it's the top half of a suit, a touring and commuting suit. The bottom half is known as the rin pant, so the rack and the rin makes for a suit. It's about as technical as a leather jacket gets, with the exception perhaps of the almost unwearable Corrier's jacket from Rucker. It's made from a Napa cow leather. The leather is very soft, but this is still a very substantial jacket. This is not a jacket that you'd choose to go out in for a walk around town. The jacket comes with a waterproof membrane, and so what that means is that Hasson in their literature term this a waterproof jacket, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think it's going to be a very waterproof jacket, and that's because in any kind of prolonged rain, the leather's going to suck the rain in. This is a jacket that's going to wet out pretty quickly. And so if you were going to go touring in this jacket or you're going to go out in heavy rain, I would just take a waterproof to put over the top. What it does have is a fixed Outlast lining, and Outlast is a very clever temperature regulating material. Basically, what happens is when you're hot, the membrane is made from paraffin molecules. When you're hot, it takes the heat away from the body, cooling you down. When you're cool, when you get too cold, it takes the heat that's already stored and plays it back to the body. So it helps to regulate your temperature. The jacket is also treated with something known as TFL Cool, and what that does, it reduces the effect of the sun's ultraviolet rays. So normally on a really hot day, on a sunny day, you don't want to go out in a black leather jacket because it's going to absorb all the heat. But when you've got a TFL Cool treatment, that doesn't happen. So this jacket's going to be far cooler than you might expect a black leather jacket to be on a really hot and sunny day. Now, you've got vents here on the chest, you've got exhaust vents at the back. The armour in the elbows and shoulders is level 2. there's a pocket, or rather a strap, that will take a back protector. You need a back protector that has D3O, that has Velcro on it. The jacket is rated AAA under EN 17092, and in terms of abrasion resistance, it's got to be said, it does not get better than that. Now, this is not a cool looking cafe racer style jacket. It's not the lightest jacket or the easiest to wear. This is a serious jacket for people who want to go touring perhaps in leather. The only problem I have is, why would you want to go touring in leather? This is the Charleston jacket from RISHI. Now, RISHI is a solid mid-market brand. Their gear is reliable, but rarely is it outstanding. Although I have to say, we do love their gloves. The Charleston is a perfectly acceptable jacket. It's got all the right bits. It's the cheapest of all the jackets that we are talking about today. It's made from a cowhide. It's not the softest and lightest of jackets, but it's still comfortable, and certainly it looks the part. What's nice is you've got these football pockets here behind the shoulders. It's the kind of thing that you used to get with an old-fashioned shot jacket, and they again just make the jacket a little bit easier to wear. They aid articulation around the shoulders. You've got a removable thermal membrane. You've got D3O comes as standard in the shoulders and the elbows. There's a pocket for a D3 back protector. It's rated AA for abrasion resistance under EN 17092. I have to say, there's nothing that's particularly exceptional about the Charleston, but on the other hand, there's nothing that really disappoints about it either. If you like the way it looks and if it fits you well, there's no reason not to go for it. It comes, by the way, in this brown, but also in black. Both have this kind of nubuck finish to the leather. This is the Cosmo jacket from Held. Now, it's really a bit like the racket jacket from Hasson. It's not designed to be a standalone jacket. You can, of course, wear it as a standalone jacket, but it's designed to match with a pant. In this case, it's the Held Avolo pant to make for a leather touring or commuting suit. It's made from a very soft cowhide, a bovine hide. The leather is impregnated with a treatment called TFL Cool that's going to reduce the effects of the sun's ultraviolet rays. So on a normal hot sunny day, you wouldn't want to be wearing a black leather jacket because it's going to absorb the heat. But when you've got a TFL Cool treatment rather, it's not going to get as hot from the sun's ultraviolet rays. You've got vents here on the sleeves. You've got vents here at the back. And if you undo the main zip here, there's a placket, there's a zip-in placket that's going to allow even more air to run through it. Now you've got concertina stretch here behind the shoulders and above the elbows, so this is still a very comfortable jacket to ride in. You've got a lowered back to the jacket, which we always like in a leather jacket because it means that when you lean forward, nothing's exposed. You've got a connecting zip to enable this to zip into, as we've mentioned, the Avolo pants. It comes with level 1 armour in the elbows and in the shoulders. You've got a pocket, obviously, for a D3O back protector. Now, this jacket is rated single A for abrasion resistance under EN 17092, and we cannot see why that would be the case. But I think we know. When the regulations first came in, every manufacturer just tested to the minimum level because it was the cheapest thing to do. Since then, most manufacturers, even Belstaff, has retested most of their jackets to increase the rating. But this jacket has remained unchanged for many years, so it has never been retested. But what I can tell you is there's no reason why this wouldn't pass at the AA level. Now, as I've said, this could be worn, the Cosmo could be worn as a standalone jacket, and it's going to be more versatile than most leather jackets, but I think it works best as part of a suit. There is one thing that is particularly exceptional and outstanding about the Cosmo, and it's its sizing. It goes right up to a size 70, and I don't think we've got another leather jacket, or indeed, I don't think we've got many jackets at all that go up as large as that. But the interesting thing is not only does it go up to a size 70, but this jacket comes in a short and a tall version. Frankly, in terms of fit, there's nothing quite like it. Well, I hope you found that interesting. If you'd like to see more leather jackets or just more jackets, then visit the website motorlegends.com. If you want to learn more about the jackets that we've been discussing today, then if you click on the links, on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you to a page that we've put together that has all of these 10 jackets on it. Now, when you're there, you can check out the spec of the jackets in more detail. You can check on availability, and obviously if you want to buy one of them, you can do that there and then. Now, when you do buy from us, we try to make the process simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on any item that you buy from us. Returns are totally free, and once more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. Now, we have the best price promise in the business. Many years ago, John Lewis was rightly famed for its never knownly undersold price promise. Well, we go one stage better. If you can find anybody selling anything that we sell at a price that is below ours, we will beat that competitor's price by a full 10%. Now, there are a few terms and conditions associated with what we call our price beat. Nothing particularly onerous, I can assure you. But if you are going to attempt to price beat us, I suggest you go over to the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. Now, if in the future you'd like to see information from us about new products, then if you go to the website again, at the top of the page, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on that and in seconds you'll be in business. If, however, you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, would be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber to a YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Finally, I'd like to make mention of our fabulous shop here at Motor Legends. We're based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station, and as I've suggested, it's a small shop, it's got a small footprint, but our shop is attached to a warehouse where we have more than £4 million worth of stock arranged over 3 floors. Technically, that makes this the second largest motorcycle apparel shop in the country. But we like to think of ourselves as not just the amount of merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service and we're all about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you come to see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee, or we'll serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. And who knows, if you're lucky, you might even get to sample one of our delicious motorcycle-shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.